should have waited a couple more minutes. Today's October 29th, 2025, and this is our 5 o'clock work session. Please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, I'd like to welcome everybody tonight. Looks like it's a good crowd here tonight. Do we have somebody here to give the blessing tonight? There we go. How are you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you for being with us tonight.
Oh, well, thanks for having us. I'm Leslie Saunders. I'm from the Unitarian Universalist community of Frankfurt, but I'm here representing Interfaith Council. Spirit of life, source of justice and compassion, we pause in gratitude for this gathering. We honor the many hands and hearts that keep our community whole, those who serve as first responders, those who serve through quiet dedication, and those who weave the fabric of our shared lives in many ways unseen. As this body deliberates, grant wisdom that favors the common good over self-interest, foresight that sees beyond today into the needs of tomorrow, and compassion that recognizes every voice as worthy of dignity and care. May this work reflect our highest hopes for justice, equity, and kindness, so that each decision becomes a building block for more thriving and inclusive community. With gratitude for those who give of themselves in service, and with hope for all who will benefit, may you begin this work together in harmony and good faith. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Thank you for being with us tonight. All righty. Next is public comments. Is there any public comments? Come on up. Please just state your name, and you have 3 minutes.
Okay. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Rachel Moore. I'm the Executive Director of William Joseph Crisis Nursery, and I also work for Wanda Joyce Robinson Foundation. I'm here representing a lot of the nonprofits in our community, and I work closely with the CARES Coalition. I'm sure you all are aware that due to the government shutdown, many families in our community are going to lose their SNAP benefits for the month of November, if not longer. The responsibility will ultimately fall on local nonprofits, churches, and schools who already struggle with funding. We need to be proactive and come up with a plan to prevent crisis. According to data provided by the Cabinet for Health and Family Services, 5,282 individuals in Franklin County are currently receiving SNAP benefits. 2,328 of those individuals are under the age of 18. Many in our community will be faced with the choice to either eat or pay their bills. This will be a ripple effect. Temperatures are dropping, people will be unable to pay utilities and will be without heat. With the lack of affordable housing, people are already struggling to pay rent. Families will be evicted from their homes. We have no place to house them and very limited resources to help them financially. People will be desperate to make ends meet. Every month, Locals distributes 200 food boxes to the schools and 50 boxes to the community. Access distributes 20 to 30 food boxes. Capital City Activity Center around 700 boxes, and Salvation Army hands out around 50 boxes. I have personally gone to the grocery to purchase food for multiple families who have been turned away for food boxes due to a lack of resources. We are already struggling to help people meet basic needs. This is a community problem, and it's going to take all of us working together to combat this giant we're facing. I have organized a committee consisting of organizations, churches, and individuals willing to help with planning for this emergency. I'm asking the county to join our planning efforts and help provide funding to feed our community. The planning committee will meet virtually this Thursday at 1. Please let me know how I can get you the link to join. And we will also meet Monday, November 3rd at 4:30 in the community room at Paul Sawyer Public Library. I hope to see you guys there.
Thank you very much, Rachel. It's a very important thing, and I appreciate you all working on it.
What's up, Judge? I don't think I've ever done a citizen's comment with y'all. This is crazy.
Really? Could you go ahead and state for the audience?
Sorry,
the public who,
sorry.
Who
My name is Katima Smith-Willis, and I'm here today as a citizen of Frankfurt, a mother, and as someone who has personally depended on SNAP to support my family. But I'm also here as a city commissioner, an advocate, and your friend across the river who is deeply invested in how we show up for our community. I know firsthand what it feels like to stretch every single dollar, to stand in line praying I'm approved for assistance, and to hope that the programs designed to help families bridge the gap will continue to be there and always will be here. These programs don't just feed families, they give dignity, stability, and breathing room to parents trying to make ends meet. On Monday, the city of Frankfort was approached by the lovely Miss Rachel Moore. On a Tuesday, I got very active and started yapping, of course, and had conversations around how we as local leaders can support and collaborate on assistance and community nutrition efforts. I want to acknowledge that the CARES Coalition is helping lead a community-wide planning effort around SNAP benefits and SNAP funding, and it's encouraging to see that they're bringing the right people to the table. But as we know, we talk about community, but there is no community without unity. That's why I wanted to come today, not to make a specific ask, but to extend an invitation. I hope the Fiscal Court will meet us in the middle and be an active part of this process, whether by attending those planning meetings Rachel spoke of, offering input, or simply leading your perspective on how we can best serve our shared residents in Frankfort and Franklin County. This isn't about the city or county lines, and it's most definitely about just being neighbors, many of whom rely on both city and county resources to survive and thrive. If we can all be united in this effort, I truly believe we can weather this storm together, because this is not the first storm we've experienced. Thank you for your time, your service, and your collaboration, and of course, hearing me out as your peer, but also as someone who has needed assistance in a chapter of my life. I'm hopeful that as these discussions continue, we can put our boots on the ground together, not just as elected officials, but as peers and advocates of our constituents. Thank you all.
Thank you very much for being here tonight. Hello.
Hello, my name is Charlotte Quarles. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I'm here tonight as a supervisor of the Franklin County Soil and Water Conservation District Board. The board would like to publicly thank the Franklin County Road Department employees for providing the necessary equipment and operators to assist us in loading all of that metal we had over the weekend. They were there for cleanup on the last day and came back on Monday and finished up. And I don't know how much metal we had this time, but to date, we have collected over 2,900 tons of metal out of this county. And spring is always more, so we look forward to working with them again. But we wanted to publicly thank them and their efforts.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that very, very much, and we appreciate our road department. And I appreciate you coming down and sharing that with us tonight.
Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry, I should have prepared something, I guess a speech to say, but Christy Poe, here on behalf of myself tonight, believe it or not. I'm also the community connector for the CARES Coalition, so I do work very closely with them. I'm here tonight to support Rachel Moore in her effort, because we know that the county and the city is about to undergo some pretty serious changes. What I wanted to bring to everyone's attention is that the ones that are suffering, a lot of them don't understand what's going to happen, and that's the scariest part. I'm personally involved with a family that I helped take care of. They just received their benefits for October, so she thinks that everything's going to be okay and doesn't understand that this is it and it's going to have to stretch. I think that the city and the county, I love how we always come together as a community to make sure that we help those in need. It's time that we tap into our state funding. I think this is an emergency. I think this is something that we can look at as an emergency. And with $5 billion in a rainy day fund, I think it's time to start figuring out how we're going to distribute some of those funds to make sure that we feed the families of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. So thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, Christy. I didn't see this one coming.
I'm not a public speaker, but I'm going to do the best I can do.
Go ahead and tell the public, because there's only 1 million people watching on TV
Oh,
right
no,
now.
gosh dang, that just makes it a
No
lot
pressure,
better.
Cody, no
Yeah.
pressure.
My name's Cody Callis. I've been an employee at the Franklin County Road Department for 19 years. I'm here today because I care deeply about our department and the direction we're heading. Over the past 2 years, we've seen some significant changes. 2 years ago, we had a crew of 18 employees. Today, we're down to 12. In the same period, just 2 years and 1 month, we've had a turnover of 21 employees. That level of turnover is concerning. It affects our ability to maintain county roads safely and efficiently, and impacts the morale among the remaining crew members. With the hiring of a new road supervisor, I respectfully ask that the court take these numbers into consideration. We need leadership that can help stabilize the department, improve employee retention, and rebuild the teamwork and pride that once made the road department such a strong organization. After nearly 2 decades of service, I want to see this department succeed and continue serving the people of Franklin County with reliability and integrity. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Yep. You did a good job, Cody. Thank you. And we appreciate everything you do down there. Alrighty, I believe we're going to do a road department update now. Justin's going to come up.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for being here with us.
Absolutely. So, to give you a little update, Nineveh Road, guys have been out doing culverts and ditch line cleaning. Yep, absolutely. HG Mays should be able to start blacktopping about mid-November. That's the word I've got on that. Yeah. We've got industrial park signs. There's 3 requests, 3 signs for those. Got those taken care of. Got that taken care of. All the drains are complete. At the road department, the drainage issues, working well. Roadside mowing, Duckers, Lakeview, they're all complete. So we're good on that. Mow trimming will continue as normal. All the county lots throughout the county, Country Lane, Breckenridge Fire Department, they're all mowed. Leaf and limb collection, undergoing. Still getting a lot of those in. Leaves should pick up here before too long. Yard waste Wednesday, I think we got 1 of those left. Guys have been hauling compost to the landfill. Been trying to get rid of some of that old stuff, get rid of it. Finished out spraying chemical out of the truck, getting it ready for winter. Road salt, we had 800 ton, another order of it, and they started hauling today. So that's going to put us at around 2,200 ton. So all the trucks have been winterized, ready to go. Hoop barn on order. It's a couple weeks out. Talked to the Manly hoop barns last night. So the package is ready to go. And we intend to knock out all the blacktop projects we got before the plant closes up. I just want to give thanks to the foremans and all the employees for working these past couple of weeks.
Very good report. Thank you very much, Justin. I appreciate you helping in the interim there. Squire Dykes?
I just have a quick question. I asked about a month ago, if you guys could look at Georgetown Road. There's a new, very wide entrance that some of my constituents are really worried about. And I haven't seen, I understood that there was going to be like a blind entrance sign or something put there, but I haven't seen that yet. Do you know anything about it?
I do not.
Okay.
But
Would you
I'll look into it. See what
ask
we can do.
somebody about it for me?
We'll see what we can find out.
Thanks so much.
I see another hand. No. Oh, I'm sorry. Squire Whitson.
Judge, I just wanted to, this week we had a incredibly oversized overload item go out through 421 on a road and in a space that should have never supported a system. Made a lot of phone calls and found out that effectively the state has went to a new permitting system that is somewhat based on reading between the lines, Google Maps. So it doesn't necessarily dictate what roads are and aren't passable. So I'm going to try to get some information to everyone, and like the road department's assistance in trying to, quite frankly, map some of our roads, our state arteries, where we have tight turns, high grades, steep hills and otherwise, so we can inform the state system. I was told that the fastest mechanism for us to be able to mitigate any problems like this in the future is for us just to get boots on the ground really quickly, because they don't have the staff to do it at the moment. But that if we would inform them with the information of areas that we think are concerns for impassable things, like ideally another Facebook AI electronic substructure doesn't go through our county trying to get to Ohio through Bald Knob, but that was the case this week, so we need to be proactive in trying to do that right away, so I'm going to inform everybody. And just if you would start thinking about your state routes that are problematic, we need to try to get some information to the state right away about those areas. So we had one specific area that the grade was so bad on 421 that they thought that vehicles were going to flip, and that's why it got stopped on Monday. And it took them about 6 hours on Tuesday to get over the county line. So hopefully we won't have that happen again, but there is, just for the public, there's a mechanism, maybe, I hope, from what I'm told, that we can mitigate some of this stuff, because the state just transitioned, my understanding, to this new software system earlier this year, and it's been a problem, and we're probably all hearing it statewide right now. So just wanted to put that out, that it's in process to try to fix that problem. So.
Okay, thank you, Squire Wisdom. Squire Sebastian.
Thank you, Judge. I just want to say the staff, the court was available to come down yesterday for the ribbon cutting at the road department. The shop, everything down there looks spick and span, so we can definitely tell the pride that the staff is taking in these new surroundings, because they haven't had them for so long. And as the backbone of county government, when anything happens, road department is called upon to be there. They're at the park. They're helping out. They've helped out at the jail. I mean, they've helped out all over county government. Never made a peep about any of the conditions they were working in or the equipment that they work with. And now you have a shop and facilities that are probably the pride of the Commonwealth. And I can see how much pride you're taking in those. So that is phenomenal. And I just want to thank you all for welcoming us in and showing us a little bit more in depth about what equipment you all are working with and how that helps our county. All did a great job yesterday.
Thank you.
And every day.
And I'm appreciative Cody and Travis got in a picture with us. I mean, that was kind of a highlight of my night when they got in a picture with us. I was like, wow, that's nice. Squire Tanner.
Well, I just wanted to bring up one thing that Squire Harrod, myself, and you and others, Jack, been down, we're on the committee with the road department, and we recognize the problem that Cody brought up, and we have discussed many ways on how to alleviate our turnover. And we're still working on that, and I think we're going to make some advances soon. Y'all did a great job with 12 people. Maybe we shouldn't be talking about 18. But anyway.
He doesn't mean that.
No, I did not. I did not mean that. But y'all do a great job, and you just think what you could do with your full staff, and we're trying to get that done.
Yeah, it should be on the next meeting, I hope. So, yeah, Justin and Jack have been working on that, so we appreciate it.
Yep.
Justin, thank you again. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you. Next, I believe we have a presentation from our jailer, Tracy Hopper. Good evening. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Before you guys leave, thank you very much to the road department. They did come out and dig up a sewer line for us, so we could get that taken care of. I also want to thank the city of Frankfort Sewer Department, Randy Adams, Robert Barker, Kenny Hogstead. They said, yeah, we'll come out there. They ran a camera for us. We were having a hard time finding it. And we all pulled together, the city and the county, and we got this taken care of out there at the jail. And we appreciate, all the efforts from the city coming out and doing that for us that day. It was a rainy, nasty, muddy day, but they came out, we got it fixed, and got everything taken care of.
Good. Thank you.
And it's not in my report today, but thank you, Judge, for coming out and early in the morning and doing our swearing-in ceremony.
It was my honor and privilege. It's the first time, we've been on court 3 years now. It's the first time that I've ever sworn in 30 deputies. And it was a very nice ceremony, and I'm appreciative of the sheriff for the speech that he gave prior to me. I'm just glad I didn't have to go after him.
Yeah.
You know.
Everyone says that about the sheriff.
Yeah.
You don't want to follow him.
No, I was like, oh my Lord, I'm glad I'm just swearing in this morning. But yeah, that was very nice. So thank you for.
Yeah, we had the sheriff's department out as well, and they were talking to our staff, and you appreciate your staff, and you want them to know, if this is a stepping stone for you to go into law enforcement, come here, put the time in, build a resume, and, as much as no one wants to get rid of any employees, we're always willing to promote someone to better themselves. And that was a reason that the sheriff's office came out and spoke with our staff yesterday.
And the sheriff was very appreciative that she thinking of the big picture, and it's not just, there are employees and I want to keep them here forever, that if somebody wants to become a
Right.
police officer, that,
Yeah.
and I believe Dwayne said, there's 10 on his staff right now that came
That
from the
came
jail
from,
over the
that
years.
came from the jail.
Yeah,
That was
so-
my original plan when I went to the jail, a long, 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 long time ago, and then I decided that corrections was where I was gonna stay.
Well, good.
All right, thank you, Andrew. This is our quarterly report from July 1st to September the 30th. Some of the things that we'll be going over is staff training and everything, increased graduation. Our staffing, we have redesigned our training program. Andrew, if you'll click to the next one. We've redesigned our training program for employees, and we're working to further develop the leadership and the pride in their job there. And that was one of the reasons that I asked for the Sheriff's Department to come out, because I want them to understand yesterday with their swearing in came a lot of responsibility. Leadership roles were being developed on that day. And we have also been able to facilitate higher education opportunities. We're working with the Kentucky State University, and they're offering us tuition and class rate reduction. She was not able to make it to our staff meeting yesterday, Tuesday. Today's Wednesday, yeah, Tuesday, sorry, to come out and talk to the employees, but, you know, they received information about this from Kentucky State University. Next. Our maintenance update, the valves are in, the boards are in. Second week of November, we'll start the camera upgrade, the replacement of the cameras. They'll pull wire and put in 120 new cameras throughout the facility and a couple extra places out around the maintenance at the maintenance area and outside the perimeter of the jail. We'll have, and this will be changing to web-based cameras, and it will look so much clearer. You know, the safety, you know, the safety and security of the jail will be 10 times better with this new camera system that we're putting in. Next. The privatization of our canteen is going fantastic. We are getting ready to expand, and the commissary we're growing in this area. We're able to offer name brand products at a lesser price to the inmates, and you know, the profits are we still have a lot of profit here, and they're being utilized to the benefits of the inmates. And anything that we can buy from our commissary account is money that the taxpayers will not be paying at the jail. You know, we're in a position now that we're paying for cost of books and legal material. We're getting ready to do new shirts for our SOAR group for them, and that'll be paid for out of there instead of out of the tax dollars. Next. We are 2 weeks into our Citizens Corrections Academy. We started our Citizens Corrections Academy. One of the things that I had learned that people are not really aware of where their tax dollars go in the jail. They feel like if they have never had anyone in jail, it's not, you know, they really didn't know. So we had come up with the idea of doing this Corrections Academy. We want people to come in, we want them to learn what it takes to operate a jail, like the cost of food. We did a tour for both of our groups, and they were amazed at what the inside of a jail actually looks like and the operation of it. We'll be going over the state, federal, and local laws that it takes to operate a jail with citizens of Franklin County. And after this one, we will be doing another one. Our jail inspector came out. He attended the meeting, and he said he wished that more jails would do this. He said it's important. Your community has no clue where your budget's going. So that's something that we've been, really excited about, and it's turned out, it's been really nice. Next, Andrew. Through the Kentucky Jailers Association, we have received nearly $40,000 worth of AV equipment. This is so we can do federal attorney visits, mental health visits, and all three of these machines that were given to the Franklin County Jail we've opened up 2 more attorney booths. So we're cutting back on the waiting time. Mental health and doctor visits that we do, those also happen there too. This was at no cost to the taxpayers. This was $40,000, nearly $40,000 in tech equipment that was donated to Franklin County Jail. Next. Our GED and MRT classes, we are having GEDs earned at historic rate. 19 GEDs in this quarter were earned by inmates at the jail. And I talked to Kelly last night. She was just like, she said, things are fantastic. She said she remembers a year that she thinks they graduated 32 in 1 year. So in our 90 days, we have 19 GED graduates.
And just so everybody knows, Kelly's with Thornhill
Kelly,
Education that's
yes,
doing it, so
yeah.
just want people to
Kelly
realize that
Anderson
everybody's
from
working
Thornhill.
together.
Yes. Our MRT graduates, we have 27 of those, and those are our moral recognition therapy. We also have our MRT trauma. When I came into office, we were paying someone to teach these classes. Our officers have been sent to school. They were trained, and now they are the ones teaching the classes during their time that they're at work. So we're not paying anyone outside to teach these classes. They're at the jail, inside and out at the dorm, in the honor dorm with the ladies. Next. Our community support, our Class D, our SOAR females, we just, I can't tell you how happy I am with everything that they've done. Jeff Hancock called me and asked, he said, hey, can I buy the ladies' lunch? They're painting the clerk's office, they're laying floor. They came back and said, Miss Hopper, we learned how to lay floor today. Greg showed us how to lay floor, and I was like, hey, that's exciting. I said, you'll be able to work on your own house. But they are painting in the clerk's, they've painted in the sheriff's office, the Boys and Girls Club. I think we've finished there at the Boys and Girls Club. We've been out there for close to, and there's some pictures of the Boys and Girls projects that the ladies have went out there and cleaned and painted tables, walls, doors. We've spent a few months there getting that ready. Next. We do litter cleanup throughout the community. This is a picture we've been going through and picking up in the county and the city anything that are not residential roadways. We don't want anyone, we won't go in anyone's yard and pick anything up. But this is some of our cleanup. Something new that we just started at the jail. We have formed a partnership with the Kentucky Department of Veteran Affairs. We had talked about out at the jail, I think 120 veterans have been incarcerated in the last year. I don't remember what our current number is, but when they get released back to the street, we have partnered with KDVA to make sure that they have the resources and they know where to get them. We were advised by KDVA that we're the only county jail that has met and talked with them, and we're also partnering with Team Kentucky, they started this, and they said they're trying to get it up and going in the prison system. But the prison system, they have so many more inmates than we do that are trying to get back out. But through this, we have had go to the next one, Andrew. That's some information that they gave us and that we go over with our vets that are incarcerated. Next, Andrew. Throughout this partnership, our resources are now being offered to inmates in jail with a virtual job fairs. So we actually had someone that did an interview. He got civilian clothes put on. There's a picture of him doing his interview. First inmate we've had to do a job interview, and these are second chance places that KDVA has set up with us to help them when they get out, to make sure that they have a good resource to go to. And it's not just for this particular guy here. He was not a veteran, but his family was. His grandfather was a vet, so that makes him eligible for this program as well. Next, our SAP and SOAR program. Local leaders attended our celebration. We celebrated our 1-year anniversary for SAP and SOAR back in October. It was actually on the same night as the Witches' Night Out. It was on the same night as the Witches' Night Out. Michael, I'm trying to aggravate you, Judge.
May I ask a question about that? How can the court be apprised of activities like that so that we know to come to the graduation?
And I guess I would have to know if I just email Jenny, then she
that'd be
can.
fine. Yeah.
She can, because I don't think I can address you guys all together, can I?
Yes.
On a
Okay.
calendar invite, you can.
Okay.
As long as it's just for informational purposes only. Yeah.
Okay, okay,
So it would be,
Yeah.
it would be helpful if we had that kind of information.
okay, all right.
And
So,
what Jailer was getting at is during my last court meeting and my judge's report, when we updated it, what was gonna be in it, somehow by accident Jenny erased the important event that we were at, graduation. And so the jailer texted me that night and says, "Really? You talked about the thriller night, but not the graduation?" I felt terrible. It was a mistake. So, but thank you, jailer, for bringing that back up.
oh, I had to. And here's some pictures from our graduation. And we had, the judge was out and the sheriff came out. Marshall was there. We had people that support these women there. We have some pictures here of our community garden. And when we say community garden, it's just for the SAP and SOAR program. The ladies in our SAP program are not eligible to work. They're not eligible to leave and go to the big garden where the other ladies can go. So we tilled up a garden for them, and it was just for them. The community jobs, there was just a couple of other pictures there of them moving furniture, what we do for the Humane Society as well. Cassidy Counseling, we have a yoga class, and I wish I had the video from, there was an interview done at the jail, and someone came out and did an interview, and it was pretty good. It was like 2 minutes long, and I'll share it with the court. I'll share it with you guys. But the class is led by an instructor who is a licensed mental health counselor and a certified yoga instructor. The women have absolutely just love this. You know, it's not just about yoga and stretching. It's a lot about, it reduces their stress, anxiety, lowers anger and aggression. And a big thanks to Capital City Christian Church, who donated 100 mats for this program. And here's Laura's, her counseling, Yoga Beyond Walls, and that was the interview that was called Yoga Beyond Walls. We have partnered now with the Violence Resource Center of the Bluegrass. We have a new volunteer program that we have mental health counselors, an additional mental health counselors at no charge to the county through our medical, that come out and meet with victims with different types of traumas. They're learning to cope with issues, to improve the outlook, and decrease their tendencies to return to jail. Next. And here's their brochure. I thought I would put this in the slide so you guys could, have the information who we're working with. We just participated in a study from the Department of Corrections to identify victims of human trafficking. It offers resources to inmates for safe housing, relocation, and counseling outside after release. This study was anonymous and sanctioned by the Department of Corrections and sent to us. We did, and it was totally anonymous. The ladies did not put their names on these. They filled these questionnaires out, and then we sent them back to the study from the Institute of Survivor Care. Next. We are getting in numerous IDs, Social Security cards, birth certificates. It's something that we had, through our reentry resources, partnered with. We have monthly Team Kentucky comes out. We do a reentry meeting at our jail every month, and we've partnered with them, got information. So anything that we can do before they leave to help them break these barriers down, we're doing it. It's still offered outside. I had 3 IDs sent to us today. 2 of those individuals have already left, but before they leave, they fill out a envelope. They fill it out where we send it to, this information after they've been released. They fill it out in their own handwriting, and we have dotted our I's and crossed our T's, Mr. Conley, on that. Revenues. By the county treasurer's quarterly report, our revenues is $835,000. After the first quarter of revenues billed in September, so revenues will be July, August, September, but we don't bill September until the end of September, and once it lands on October, it's counted in the second quarter. But for what we've billed, our first quarter revenue was over $1 million.
Congratulations. We're not used to seeing revenues at the jail. It's nice.
Yeah, but the good thing about these revenues, most of them come from helping people. If we're doing these classes, and the Department of Corrections in the state is offering money to us for these services, then we're absolutely in the business for helping people and doing something better, making someone better before they go back out. And I don't think I'll talk this much on a court ever.
Jayla Hopper, thank you.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate the report. I'm going to open up the report. Squire Wisman, do you have a question?
Several, Judge, if I can. Jailer, thank you for being here. I'm wondering, well, really, I've asked this question before. When you said there was a $40,000 in tech donations to us, when there's substantial gift of a financial value of something, I'm still concerned that we need to somehow approve or accept those things into the ownership of the fiscal court and the body, especially tech items that we are then obligated to surplus in the future if we take in things. And I'm just asking how that protocol
Max,
may work in the future. I've asked
because it did come from the state. It came from another kind of municipality. Is there any kind of paperwork we need to do for that?
Is it from the Jailers Association or from the state?
It's actually, the Jailers Association was given, every jail had from AOC given, it's what we use for our video arraignments. It's those machines. They had several that jailers didn't want to use them, wasn't interested in using them, couldn't use them. So this was given to the Jailers Association. I think that our hours that we got, we originally paid for it, and then AOC reimbursed us the money that we had paid for this machine. So these were machines that other jails weren't going to use. KJA put out a notification, if there are any jails that are interested in having this, write us a letter about, what you're going to do with this and why you should get one extra. We got two.
So I think just tagging them, making sure they're in the,
Okay.
as far as an inventory system.
Inventory system.
Okay.
We do, if they are added for inventory.
Oh, okay.
So just,
Thank you.
just
I
have
didn't
them
see you
tagged
over
and
there.
added to the inventory.
Okay.
Go ahead, Squire.
Several other things.
Yeah, you're
If I
fine.
can.
Go ahead.
Squire, or Jailer, I've got some calls about, from some attorneys asking about access, having difficulty getting access to inmates. Is this new equipment going to, you sort of indicated that may somehow help with that problem, but I'm wanting to make sure that, everyone has their right to see their attorney as fast as they need to and everything.
Through our federal contract, we have given them a list of instructions. There were a couple of attorneys, well, one attorney, that couldn't get access, but it was a licensing, something on their end, not on our end. We've had attorneys use this, mental health. We've not had an issue with that. And I did reach out to, because I did have one attorney concerned about it, and we made sure that we put out a list of how this happens. You can call in, make an appointment, because you would have to have an appointment. We don't know to just walk over. And so the attorneys, the federal attorneys know that. Our local bar doesn't use it. It's just been something because we house for the federal government, and it's just been our federal attorneys that use this, Skype or, not Skype, sure that's old, Zoom or Teams.
So we still aren't necessarily allowing in-person visits, which at some point I want to go back
Everyone.
to. But the
We are
attorneys
100%
We are?
in person.
Back? Okay. But it
No,
never been said in court
for
yet.
attorneys. Now, you just led off with attorneys
I'm
have
asking-
called you.
I just mentioned everyone, but I was getting to attorneys. They still,
Oh,
they have
attorney-
access
Oh, 100%.
whenever they need to.
We've
Okay.
opened, I just said that earlier, we've opened 2 additional attorneys' booths
Yeah.
out there at the jail.
I was wanting to ask. Well, I hate to have to ask these, but I'm going to. I've been waiting for some reports that I haven't seen come yet, but I understand that we had an inmate who escaped from a work detail at some point in the past few months, and those were never reports that were made to this court, and I know you know the policy and procedure manual because you sat through while we were reviewing it before you took over as jailer. But I'm wondering if there is a report, or if there was such an instance, if that was a report made to the state, or...
There was no escape. There was no walk-off. We had a crew out mowing, and the person weed eating got out of sight of his crew supervisor. I followed policy and procedure, called the city police, called the county sheriff, and I said, hey, we may have a possible walk-off. That was my first thing to do. And if you'd like to have that report,
I would.
by all means,
I
you can
understand
have
this
it.
body camera footage and all this that
Body
that
camera
we can
footage,
review
we
if
don't
we
wear
need to,
body
but-
cams, and this was a work crew.
No, you said you called the city police. So
We called the city police, we called the sheriff, and was right on the phone with the state police. This person was located in less than 4 minutes, close to Kentucky State University. City police called, Captain Tracy called me and said, hey, he said, they're here, they're weed eating. I said, okay. So they were never escaped, never left the job site. They just had their earbuds in, and they were weed eating down the road. Next question.
I'm been made abreast that there was potentially a wrongful release of an inmate, the wrong inmate. Is there any truth to that or anything?
You would have to be more specific,
I
sir.
don't know dates or anything else. It was
Then
just,
your
I was
source
told
should
that-
give you dates and more specific
I'm asking if there
information.
was a report, if there was an instance, if there was a report made to the state as required, is my understanding, and we've not been made abreast of anything as a court, which our policy procedure manual says we are to be notified the instant the jail notifies the police department and then us, but
Right. If
okay,
that
so
would have
there wasn't-
happened, it would have been handled the same way that I handled the potential walk-off by policy and procedure.
And then I'm just concerned, I've been getting some phone calls of some inmates not receiving items that they need. Not necessarily medication, I don't believe, but personal products and other things. I'm just wanting to make sure that everyone in that jail is getting all the resources that they need to have. I know
They
we
are.
had this conversation before the SAP program started, that I came out and talked with you all about how we make sure that all inmates get whatever that they need as minimum. I don't want to go into details, but any kind of product that they need. So
Since
they
I've
are-
been there, we've purchased 200 towels, 150 bed, new mats. Everyone has personal hygiene care packs given to them. We've started in our new privatized canteen, they have a hygiene care pack that their outside can purchase for them. And then that way, because when someone puts money on their commissary account, if they owe us money, 50% of that goes to the jail before they can buy commissary. If they have these hygiene packs that they can purchase, that someone from the outside can purchase, that way they're, I don't want to say avoiding, but they are not having to pay that 50%, because most of our population is indigent. And if they don't have it, we provide it for them.
Okay, just wanting to make sure. And then just my last thing, Jailer, I fielded some phone calls and some complaints from some emails and otherwise from employees. And I'm wondering if you would maybe submit with us to create a system that we may have some exit interviews or something of employees when they're leaving. You've had some leadership positions that have left. We've had quite a lot of turnover countywide, but the jail has always been a place where we've had a lot of turnover. And I'm just wanting to get to the bottom of sort of what is the process, and I think exit interviews particularly would be helpful. Because
Hey,
that's
Squire,
something-
let me remind you, she's an
I'm
elected
tired.
official, and she is running the jail, and so I think you're...
Judge, I appreciate that, but as I've said consistently, the county employees are under hours, and we set the dollars and the figures of everything that happens in this county.
We work
So-
on the budget with them.
And
We're not
when-
there to run them.
When something happens that's an HR issue, we all get sued. So I'm just wanting to get ahead of this. I've brought this up at this court several times, so I'm just wanting to ask the jailer now if we can come up with some system that we can all
I'll
be
take that
better
under
for.
advisement.
Okay, well, we'll talk more. Thanks.
Jailer, I just want to say thank you, because what you are doing in this community is amazing. Like I spoke the other day at that graduation, we're not just having other jails look at us in the state, but we're being looked at across the nation because a lot of the programs you're doing. We could sit here and talk about the amazing work that when you all come out into the community. I think that last figure was $1.5 million worth of labor into our community.
Yes, sir.
And so that's an amazing thing. So I want everybody to realize that we appreciate everything you all are doing there. Squire here?
I just had a comment. I was approached in public the other day, and they were asking about the jail's budget, and it's 6.1 million. Revenues from the jail are expected to be 3.5 million this year, which leaves the tax dime 2.6 million on the taxpayers. So the jail is working to break that deficit down. I just wanted everybody to know, in case they were wondering what the budget was, where the money falls, that's how it breaks down.
Well,
So,
and I can share, and I had this talk with Major LeMay the other day. Their goal is to run in the black,
Yeah.
which would be amazing.
If we-
think what that would do to this.
Right.
As Rachel and everybody's here with the food problem, and the senior centers here, and the men, everybody's needing money, needing funds. I mean, there's shortages. The federal government's a complete cluster right now. Let's just be honest. So the more that they can help us, we're going to be able to help more people too. So we appreciate that. Squire Tanner.
I got a question, just for general information.
Yes, sir.
It seems like to me, some of my recollection from years past, that indigent prisoner
They like to be called
is
residents.
eligible for Medicaid. Is that true, or do you pursue that, or do you not pursue that, or tell me about that?
Major Smith, will you come up here?
So once they're an inmate, they are a ward of the state. They're not eligible for Medicaid. If they do go to the doctor, they're hospitalized, our medical company, they send those bills off to be repriced through WellPath, who reprices them as a Medicaid rate. And so we do pay a lower rate on their medical bills.
I'm not arguing with you, I just recollected, I thought we got a law passed that they were eligible, and
They're
there's certain paperwork you had to fill out to get it, but they were Medicaid eligible. There may not be any Medicaid now to
They're
be
not
eligible for, but
Medicaid.
anyway, I understood that, but I don't mean that's correct.
You know, that's one of my pet peeves, and I've talked to a couple of our judges next door about filing a federal lawsuit and other people in this state, because I don't think it's right if somebody has insurance and they go into the jail, then all of a sudden it relies on us.
That was in that law we passed. If they got insurance to go in there, it used to be automatically terminated,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. But
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. They're not gonna pay the premium anyway, so it's just good for 1 month.
Right, but I think that's where we're getting hurt a lot, is that we have to take on that liability when it shouldn't be that way. So, as far as Sebastian.
Thank you, Judge. Jailer, I just wanted to give a shout out to you and to the SAP and the SOAR program.
Thank you.
I can say in the first district, anytime I've called, the ladies have been out. They've assisted in picking up trash in that area, and it is a corridor into our community, and it is the cleanest it's been in quite some time.
Thank
And
you.
they picked that up on a state highway, besides some of the county roads that I've called about. I want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
I'm also, today I was at Thornhill. There was a tremendous amount of work that they put into preparing for Friendsgiving. But they do a
Yes.
lot of work there, so I want to thank you for that. I wanted to also share that I know that they were at the road department helping paint the administration building.
Yes.
It looks incredible. I
Yeah.
cannot say enough about the skills that they are picking up by working
Oh, yeah.
out in the community. That is a phenomenal thing.
Yeah.
And I lastly want to talk about their work at the Capital City Activity Center. I'm in there frequently, and they are constantly working in a variety of areas. They are helping out in the kitchen. They're helping out in the food pantry. They
Yes.
are carrying things inside and outside of the building. They are keeping that place clean working with
Yeah.
the staff and the other volunteers. And they're constantly supervised, but they are extremely polite. They are also always asking if they can help in some way, what else can I do? So I cannot thank this body enough for being supportive of that program coming to Franklin County. But I can't thank you enough for the end result that everyone at the jail is putting in to make that happen out in the community, because it
Thank
is
you.
making a difference.
Thank you. This makes a difference to these women too. It truly does. It's good for their heart and soul, and they tell us that it is. Some of these women have never worked a job before, and they're in their late 30s, early 40s, and they said, I've never worked a job. And I said, if you don't learn a skill here, at least you will learn work ethic. Getting up in the morning, going to work, coming back, and going into the classroom for 2 more hours, doing another hour's worth of homework. These ladies put the work in. They put the work in. And they appreciate, like I said, they appreciate any time. They had lunch with Judge Wingate one day when they were over in the courthouse working, and they said, we had lunch with the judge today. And I think he had just
Probably
stopped
very
by.
weird, because he probably sentenced them.
Well, he had stopped by and talked to him, and he told me, he said, Tracy, these women are doing a fabulous job, and that's why we decided we were going to change their shirt to a collared golf shirt, the purple shirt, to make them feel better. I know when they were out at the jail, the sheriff and Michelle Pfister said, these women are so respectful, they are so hardworking, and, these are the people that 110%, everyone deserves that next chance at, rehabilitation and getting out and getting a job.
Jailer, if it's okay, I'm going to invite a guest speaker to come up.
Oh, sure.
You have no idea who it is, do you?
No.
Marshall?
Oh.
So I just want to.
Go ahead and announce who you are to the world.
Oh, sorry. Marshall Jenkins, Director of Capital City Activity Center. So we've, way before me, I've been there going on 13 years, have had the opportunity to participate with the Class D program. And I've always had asked, do we have ladies? Nothing against the men, but I always wanted to know, do we have ladies? And there wasn't that opportunity. And then once SOAR came, Tracy and I talked, and I was like, oh, yes, 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 we will be a part. And I believe we were the first place that had the ladies. And what a joy it has been, honestly. I feel like, and it's true, that a lot of these ladies have never even had a job before. And they're learning. I treat them just like my staff, because when they leave our house and they go out into the community, I don't want to set them up for failure. I want them to know what it's going to be like to work for somebody and have to get along, be a team player, listen to a supervisor or a boss. I want them to succeed. And I just want you all to realize we have typically 6 that come. So the savings, they have for a year have worked about 12,500 hours. And if you go at a $15 rate, that's $187,200 of savings for the center. We could never be able to afford an additional six full-time people, plus the taxes, plus the benefits and all of that. So I just want to say thank you for giving the opportunity. And I can't speak highly enough about this program. We are changing lives. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Marshall. All right, Jailer Hopper, thank you.
Thank you.
Very much. Alrighty, next we're going to move on to the judge's report on 1023 KSU had an aquaculture showcase and facility tour. I believe there's a picture. Unfortunately, I was unable to go. Picture, yeah, there it is there. So they're looking to grow this. I know they didn't really communicate. It was kind of a last minute thing. So we're really going to push this next year to try, because they went ahead and prepared food, with what they're growing there. And so we're going to really try to make it a point next year to get all of us there and then get the community there, because they're doing some amazing things at Kentucky State University with their aquaculture department. So we appreciate that. But yeah, they did a behind the scenes tour. Meet the experts, and then a taste of KSU. So we're going to work with KSU for next year's event. So everybody will be invited. On the 24th, the First Presbyterian Preschool had a little trick or treat in the office. With the daycares closing, I think there was only about 30 kids this year, but they were very appreciative that they could buzz through the office here and get to interact with the staff. So that's nice. Tina and Marianne love to dress up. So does Greg. Greg's a holiday guy. Tried and true. Learned that really quick. The next is a thriller. I believe Jailer spoke of this earlier. So Jailer, the thriller was a huge thing downtown. They said there was probably 2,000 people down here. Luckily, my wife did not want to come down, and so I did not. So the older I get, I'm getting to be a grumpy old man. But it sounds like everybody had a really good time, and I'm sure the businesses really enjoyed it. So we appreciate Susie Hosley and DFI for putting that event on. On the 28th, I was able to go and swear in the deputies. Very, very nice program. I know they had some training before that. Like I said, the sheriff was there with me. They're the ones doing the job. And I asked the jailer, I said, why is this the first time? She said, we finally have about 30 people that I trust are going to be here for a long time. And so it was a very nice ceremony. Most of you all were at the next one yesterday at the road department ribbon cutting. to look at our amazing facility. Again, I want to thank Cody, Justin, and the team for cleaning that place up. I know y'all keep it like that every day. It wasn't any special cleaning, but we appreciate it. It's an amazing facility, and John Mitchell came back. I invited him. He was our old road super, and he and I were talking beforehand, and I said, because it kind of started on the last court talking about it, and we just didn't like the money that was being proposed then. And John said, actually, I said, John, how long, the building they were working in was about a 1958, and I said, how long has Franklin County been talking about building a new facility? And he said, since Ted Collins was a county judge. So I just want to let you all know that we should all be very proud that we're the ones that stepped up and built an amazing facility down there that everybody should be proud of. So well done, court. Have a picture of the softball complex, so that's moving along. Obviously, the rain here is going to slow things a little bit, but they've been doing all the infrastructure work. I mean, I think they spent 2 months moving soil. They've been pouring footers for backstops, for dugouts. Those are the poles for the fencing and netting for behind, the softball fields. So they're moving along with that pretty well.
Judge?
Yeah.
May I just have a point of personal privilege?
Yeah, go back, Andrew, please.
Yeah, on that.
Yep.
To get to that, we don't want to underestimate the work that the road department and the money that they saved us.
Yeah.
By tearing down the old complex and pretty much leveling
Absolutely.
a lot of things. So that was, again, we can't not talk about the work
No,
that
absolutely,
they do.
yes.
Constantly
And
for
we have,
us.
and I think that shaved,
In a variety of
close to a
places.
month off of the schedule alone.
Absolutely.
Plus saved us
They
$70,000.
scrapped and they were able to save and scrap some.
Yeah,
of
and there was a lot of people who were like, saw the things on social media, and they're like, you could have recycled that. Well, we did,
We did,
So
right.
we try to let everybody know. They spent a lot of time picking through those things and recycling what they could. So no, very, very nice comment there, Squire Sebastian. But it's amazing. It's going well. There's been a little bit of hiccup on the buildings. I thought the plans were done, and they're not. And so the designers and everybody, they're supposed to be done, I think, this week. And so once I talked to Mason with Codell, he said, once we have that, then we can start putting all the infrastructure in for the buildings, the piping, the underground, and it's about a month of work. But I do know those buildings are going to take about 16 weeks to build off-site, and then they'll bring them and we'll set them up. Squire Tanner.
What is the completion date estimate?
It's a great question. It was about a 15-month project total. I'd have to go back and look, but I'll let you know what that is. That's a great question. Yeah, everything's on schedule right now. So.
The goal is fall.
Fall, yeah. The goal is to be tournaments next fall.
Next fall?
Yeah, and I do know, just while we're on this, and
I thought it was next year, but I know.
getting off my script a little bit, but the Sports Commission has put the RFP out for a sports management company. So that is out currently for, I think, 21 days. So I talked to Scotty and Matt Harville, and they said their goal is to have a firm hired by the end of this year. And one of the things that they would like to do is take over the local sports too, because I know the city's not doing that anymore, and parents and volunteers have been doing it for 2 years, but they're ready to hand it off if somebody will take it from them. So that will be a huge thing for our community to have all that set up.
I think,
Go ahead.
well, it's my opinion. I think whenever it is finished, the first game is held out there ought to be Kentucky State girls against somebody like University of Alabama to get them to come up here and play. Why not?
We'll work on that. I like the way you think.
I don't think there'd be any doubt that they would come.
All righty, what's the next picture, Andrew? This is the new apartment complex that's going in off of 421 Leestown Road. Terrible picture, and I'll take credit for that. It was raining, and I didn't want to get too wet. But we are going to do a groundbreaking with them. They had some blasting and some soil work that the developer wanted to do first. So I'm hopeful in the next couple weeks that we can all come together and do the groundbreaking with that developer. So I think that's another, JW, do you remember Squire Black? We're like 250, 280 units, something like that. The one on, yeah, so I think it came for us, but it's been a while. So anyways, that's moving along. So I just want to kind of let everybody know what's happening. Next picture, Andrew. So there's the world famous Target. So that's where that is right now. It's under roof. Went out there yesterday. They were drilling lights for the parking lot. They are not slowing down. They are still say they're going to be open by next June, which just amazes me that you can build a facility like that and parking structures and everything within a year. I talked to Jason Taylor. We are going to meet next week. He said he should have some new and exciting news with some more announcements. So just kind of wanted to, just thinking of things that, people I talked to throughout the week, and just wanted to share with you all as much as I can what's going on, and see if y'all had any questions or anything. And then this is going to be tomorrow night at 4 o'clock at the Health Department. We're going to do a town hall to talk about the new park that we have, and what the interest is. Been very open with everybody that we do have a park plan. We have kind of a roadmap as far as what, in that plan that we did 4 or 5 years ago, the Hitchcock Group, they identified that we didn't have enough land at Lakeview Park and we needed more land. I'm appreciative of the prior court for purchasing that land. The terrain's a little difficult, so, it's not flat. So we're inviting the whole community out. So if anybody's watching this and you want to come out and talk about what you think we need here in Franklin County, please come. We'll be there from 4 to 5:30. It's just going to be an open conversation. It's just going to be, kind of share with everybody what the master plan says about what's needed, and then see kind of what the community says. So looking forward to that. It's one of the things we had been talking about, but, like we were telling everybody, we wanted to get, certain things off the ground, and now we're here. Squire Sebastian.
Thank you, Judge. Today at Friendsgiving, I was asked to speak to the laser group, off the cuff. And one of the things I asked that group of high school students was, what would you like to see in the amenities at our new park
Great.
property?
Yeah.
So they shared some things, so I'll make
Yeah.
a point of sharing that, because it was good having having a group of high school kids
Yeah.
who want
They're the
more
ones that are gonna
activities
use it.
available. Exactly.
Yeah, perfect.
So it was,
No, thank
a
you.
good opportunity for that.
Good. All right, Andrew, do we have any other pictures up?
Judge?
Yep.
Over here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Could you speak a little bit more about, this came out and said new park property. This is only the Duckers property.
Yeah.
That's been a bit confusing in the community. And can you speak a little bit about what this format will be? Is it an informal come and go any point in time?
Yeah.
Is there going to be a presentation? I haven't had a lot of information to be able to share with anybody. so-
Yeah. No, it's just going to be a very informal conversation. People can come and go. Deputy Kennedy had some big maps drawn up as far as the property. We're going to kind of come up maybe with some sticky notes as far as people, if they have ideas and they think, a soccer field or pickleball or whatever should go anywhere, they'll have that opportunity. So very open, very casual. Just really want people to come out, talk to us, and we're going to take notes on everything and write it all down, and then we'll come back to the court and we'll try to figure out what direction we want to start heading out there.
We're calling it a special court meeting, but there's not a need to be there at the beginning for anyone. So
No.
the time frame was a little difficult for some folks that I know that wanted to come.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and a couple have reached out to me, and I said, well, I'll stay later if need be. The health department, they close at 4:30 usually, so Judy's been really good to say, we'll staff it, we'll stay after, so trying to be respectful of that, but they have such an amazing facility now at that health department. It's easy, it's parking, get in and out, so that's why we picked it there. So, and then today, and I don't think Andrew had time to get the pictures up, but today was Friendsgiving, like Sherry said, Squire Sebastian. I want to commend her on her job that she did. They recognized Freddie Goins today for his long tenure in our community. He grew up in Thornhill. He went to Thornhill. He was with the health department. He was deputy judge here in Franklin County. He was magistrate in 2nd District. I mean, city manager. I mean, he's the man, the myth, the legend. So he was shining from ear to ear, and it was well attended. Can't say enough things about Thornhill. They knocked it out of the park. There was, usually last year, there was 35 restaurants that provided food for the community, anyone who wanted to come. They had 53 restaurants this year, and there was tons of food. I mean, people were done eating, there was still food. So I think, like Katim, our city manager, said earlier, this community can pull together when need be. And it's not about city, county, or anything else. It's about doing the right thing. Thank you, Andrew. That was kind of a last minute thing I threw at you. So there's Freddie Goins himself and his wife Debbie. You got other pictures, Andrew?
I can hear him in
He's
his
talking
office.
now.
He's,
Is he talking?
I can hear that.
Not really, Judge.
Sorry, that was my fault. I didn't have that on the list, so he grabbed that one. But I know there's a lot of us were there too, and there's a really good, we took a picture from the court members, and Max was able to be there, so we'll share that with everybody.
I've got that one.
You
I'm
do,
the
you have that one?
that's out.
Yeah, so anyway, all right, you can take us down then.
Judge, I also just wanted to add to the things that you said
Yeah.
about that. Today, individuals, as part of Friendsgiving, came and brought non-perishable food.
Oh, yeah.
And all the non-perishable food was loaded into a van and taken to the Capital City Activity Center to assist the Helping Hands Food Pantry. And the back of the van that I loaded, it was full of
Yeah.
food. So it was a phenomenal way.
And there was a lot of cash in
to
the
give.
bucket too.
Yes,
Yeah.
a lot of cash
Yep.
donation in the bucket, and the
Yep.
cash donations went to Thornhill for their programs. So it was a great way to help two organizations
Yep.
today.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Alrighty, with that, we're going to keep moving. For agenda item, minutes from our public hearing of October 15th, 2025. Any thoughts, concerns, comments on that? Seeing none. The next one is the approval of minutes from our regular meeting of October 15th, 2025. Any thoughts, concerns, comments, anything? This next one, we're going to need to table. So the sheriff was supposed to be here. There's a very, very bad accident on Georgetown Road. It was a head-on collision. Not sure if the person's going to make it. So the sheriff is on the scene there. So he had texted Deputy Kennedy, and we're going to table that until our next meeting because we do meet next week. So there's plenty of time for that one because he was going to present it. So we're going to keep moving from there. Alrighty, next is Miss Melanie Van Houten. How are you doing?
Great.
So this is the memorandum of understanding between Franklin County Fiscal Court and Josephine Sculpture Park. I think Melanie's almost been in front of every committee over the last year. We've talked to Parks, we've talked to Finance, we talked to everybody. This is budgeted in our budget for the year. I think the holdup when you came in front of us last time was legality, verbiage, things like that. Max, I appreciate you working on that with Melanie's attorney. So basically what is in front of us is what we've really already talked about, and it's just taking it into effect. So do you want to go ahead and say
Sure,
anything else?
yeah. So as you recall, I was here in April and I proposed the partnership and had a draft so that I could get some more input from all of you and address any questions or concerns that you might have. This is the opportunity to expand the Franklin County affiliated parklands by partnering with Josephine Sculpture Park. So from that, then I've met with, many committees and staff for clarification and discussion and development so we could really kind of fine tune and define some of the things that were in question that we just weren't quite sure what were things going to cost potentially, and so we could figure that out and put it in the document so it was more clear. So I think we've defined all the questions that were brought up back in April and through these committee meetings, and so the draft before you then is the draft that Max has worked on with input from our board and attorney and me, and I think we've crossed the T's and dotted the I's in here. So, yeah, I'm here to see where we go from here and hopefully start the partnership. And
I think Squire Tanner had something.
I do have a couple of questions.
Sure.
On the page 2 at the bottom of the compensation and performance, number 3 down at the bottom part, it talks about the in-kind services. It also talks about a couple of sentences above that. It talks about fiscal court shall provide not to exceed the value of $5,000 annually. One question I have, who decides when we get to $5,000? Who's keeping track of that? Is that going to be you? Is that going to be the road department? Who's it going to be? The other question I've got is the in-kind services may include but are not limited to property maintenance, driveway repair, exterior building maintenance, which could include to me a problem if you get into lead-based paint. And I don't know when that barn was built out there, but if it was before 1978 and had any paint on it, it's lead-based.
Well, they've all been painted since then, so they've been
covered
scraped
it
and
up, but that don't mean
well, they were scraped and painted.
They were
I mean-
scraped. You removed all the lead paint off of that.
Well, I don't know that there was lead paint on there to begin with, but they have been
Because
scraped and
before
painted.
78 it was, I think. Tree removal, use of golf carts, porta potties, tents, etc. Now, is that in kind? And who values that? I mean, that's the questions I have about it. I'm not against this proposal at all, except I don't think that's got to be cleared up to me.
Squire, I think what we had talked about is potentially having Melanie on our Parks Committee. And if, like, let's say the road department was out there doing some in-kind things, they would keep track of everything as far as materials, labor, and we'd put a number on that. And it's gonna be just a work. It's only for a year, and it's really uncharted water. So we're really trying to work this out to make this work. So I think, personally, it's gonna be something that we just keep constant communication as far as where we are. Because we wanna make sure it's good for them and it's good for us too.
And if you look at the sentence right there, the fiscal court shall provide in-kind services not to exceed 5,000. Specific in-kind services will be determined and agreed upon annually between the parties. So there will be a discussion on what is provided.
Okay, yes, that's in
And
there.
agreed upon.
Specific in-kind services will be determined and agreed upon annually between the parties. So every year you're gonna decide what you're gonna do? You're gonna cut down this tree, you're gonna paint this barn? You're gonna move this porta potty? And that's a year in advance?
That's what they're talking about there.
That's a big deal. Is that gonna be documented or a handshake deal?
Well, it's however you guys want to do it.
If you're going specifically in-kind services will be determined, it's not in there. I think I'm not against this at all. I just think it needs to be cleared up where you can be comfortable about what we're doing.
Well, and I think part of this is that we're trying to figure that out, and some of it, I think, we'll figure it out as we go, and we have the opportunity to continue to talk about it with a county designee on our board, and then would be, privy to our board conversations quarterly. If I'm also on the Parks Committee, then that's another opportunity, and I think it's going to take us some figuring that out. But the question at the last meeting was like, what's the maximum output here? And so I think that's what we tried to come up with. If there's some big ask, like repairing the driveway, we're going to max that out at $5,000. Those kind of big asks, I think we would know a year in advance, and then we could plan around it. Well, maybe that's only going to cost $3,500 actually. And so if a couple trees come down, we can take care of that as it's needed throughout the year. I mean, I think some of it is both parties moving ahead in good faith, and that we'll figure some of it out. And that the main concern that was expressed to me at the last meeting was like, we need to have a cap on it. And so that's where we came up with this number that gives us some wiggle room, but it's not, $100,000. It's, we're working within $5,000 there. And some years it may not be that much, even.
Like I said before, I'm not opposed to this. I think it's a good agreement. I think we can use the 130,000 people or whatever it is to boost our thing. But I really do believe the in-kind services is very vague. Know who's going to keep up with it? Me? Somebody.
I think the
who's gonna
departments who
somebody gotta
provide
keep
the
up with it.
service have to, I don't know what it costs the road department to come repair the road. They're gonna have to tell me that. I'm gonna track it because that's what I do, and that's my job at the park. But I think also you guys are gonna know what those costs are.
I think we'll communicate, we'll track it, she'll track it, and then we'll compare notes to make sure we're all on the up and up.
I don't want to add anything to this. If everybody here is comfortable with it, okay, fine with me, but there should be some kind of, if it gets extensive repair on a building, the top blows off of it, and you find lead in the paint, the court ought to know.
I think that's why
The court
we
ought
put
to know.
caps on
That's
things.
why we put the
That's why we're
cap,
putting
so,
caps on it.
I hear your concern, and I think we understand the concern and that we're willing to work through it, and that's just, I think that's where we're at.
And I know Penny wanted to be.
Well,
here
I did have one
Go ahead.
more thing.
Go ahead.
There is and I don't know, I had it marked, and me operating this machine, sometimes I lose where I'm at, but it talks about a fiscal court representative. Can that be a member of, does that specifically say member of fiscal court? I don't know where it was.
I think it says Franklin County designee.
Designee, doesn't mean it, can it come off fiscal court?
That probably might be a question for Max. I don't know
Well, we have,
100% the
you know,
answer to that
technically,
question.
we got one on the health department, which can come off fiscal court, even though it doesn't, but it can.
So that's item M, like Mary.
Thank you.
Further
Yes,
communications
yes.
amongst-
Fiscal court, the fiscal court designee shall serve, and he's a non-voting, he or she is a non-voting member.
So it can't be one of us.
So,
It can be, but I think, if I may, Judge, I think that should be defined to be said that it's either appointed by the fiscal court or the judge, or state who it is. If it's our park director, fine, but that really needs to be specified, I think, in this contract. Whoever that is, or whoever we want to say appoints
I
them.
personally think if it is a member of fiscal court, one of the 6 people that's here at the time, they would be able to track the part of the in-kind services that's given out. So I would interpret that to mean that it'd be a member of fiscal court.
I mean, for me, and I was gonna make the determination, but, you know, for me, I'm almost leaning towards a member of our park committee because she's gonna be on our park committee too, so to me, that would make the most sense, you know? But that's something I was just gonna kind of work with Melanie and a couple people on the court here to figure out.
That's just a question. really.
Yeah, so I mean, if you wanna put it just designated by the county judge, I mean, I'm fine with that too. I mean, like I said,
Well, and it says the fiscal court's designee,
Yeah.
so, I mean,
Well, you'd have to change it if you're gonna make it his designee, but it's not, it's ours.
In my estimation, by reading that, that would be the full body of the court to make the decision.
That's correct, that's what it says,
The
definitely
court's
what it says.
designee. That's exactly what that says.
y'all wanna do it right now?
It says it's the court's designee.
No, I like
I'm
it.
just trying to clarify.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm only trying to clarify
Right.
the words.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to
Yeah.
make a statement.
No.
Just clarifying the words.
well, if you're gonna look at it, if we're not gonna define it any more strict than it is, it's just be the entire body, because that's what it says.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we change it to the county judge, then we're taking the body out of it.
It doesn't matter, then we can decide as a body. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter, I mean, at all. Like I said, when we had talked about putting that person as a non-voting member to help communicate, it was gonna make sense to me that it was a member of the park committee because she would be on the park committee too. And that's how you people keep track of things and communication. I'm looking at the park committee right now. They're pretty quiet over there.
Is the fiscal court okay with somebody from the park committee being on that non-voting ex officio position?
Yes.
I don't see a problem with
Yeah.
that at all. But I mean, again,
I'd
the
like to
court
vol-
can all weigh in. and-
Yeah, I'd like to volunteer to do it.
Okay. Is everybody good with that?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine with that, I'm fine with that.
Kelly,
Do
you
we need
okay
to
with
put that specifically in there,
Okay.
just, or leave it vague like that? I don't
Well, we
know.
just leave it, and we just pretty much did it.
Okay.
great.
Well,
Thank you, JW.
We need to vote on
Squire Black.
Okay.
Yeah. needs to be.
So we'll add that, Max, you want to add that, go ahead in the voting session? I'll just add it in the voting session,
Okay.
just a technicality. Yep. It's fine.
Okay.
He's got a handbook in the sky.
I was looking over there, y'all were quiet. All right, any other questions, concerns, comments for Melanie on this agenda item?
Several.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Squire Wisman.
Several things, Judge. One, just, Melanie, I'm sure it's a typo, but under number 3, compensation and performance, it says the contribution will be $5,000 per year, but I think it's meant to say 50,000. There's the second sentence under number 3, 50,00.00. Either the comma's in the wrong place or
None
the
of
wrong
us caught
amount
that.
is.
Yeah.
Sure you don't want to be a lesser amount.
Yeah, good catch, Squire. It's
Thank
funny, you know,
you.
everyone reads these documents.
All of
and
us looked at it
No.
dozens of
I know.
times, yeah. Thank you.
Blindness.
Yeah,
Oh, he likes another Z.
I would like to add a clause, if I can, about forced arbitration. I'm thinking in case anything happens in the future, I want everyone to be protected. If Melanie is no longer able or capable within a certain time of being the representative, or if the court changes over, this will be the basis of a document that will be replicated, edited, and go forward indefinitely, right? So I want to talk about if in the future there's some political will that disagrees with the current contract, I want to protect you all so that there's not a pullout that leaves you all holding the bag for a significant amount of money or repairs or something like that, that if we have a disagreement that we can force ourselves into an arbitration rather than into a lawsuit, so that there is a forced conversation to happen. If it's okay, I'd like to add that clause. And then,
Is that, this is just a
If
question,
you're
because I'm
adding
not.
arbitration is binding. So if
That
you're
was my
talking
question.
about having a conversation, that's different than arbitration. If you're
give
agreeing
me
to
some-
go to arbitration, you sit in front of an arbitrator, you tell them what's going on, and they say, here's what you're going to do, and then you're forced to do that. So that's not a conversation, that's arbitration, which is completely different than a
right.
conversation.
The conversations can happen ultimately. My mind is if there's something that gets to the point that either party would want to file suit, that there would have to be a forced arbitration instead of a suit to protect everyone. Conversations can always happen and things can be amended. We leave plenty of room for that. I'm just thinking, just to
And-
cover everyone.
Yeah, and I think my question, again, I'm not an attorney, but that because this is a memorandum of understanding and not a contract, that I
But-
didn't know if that was,
Effectively, I'm stating it is because it's an MOU that agrees to give money. It's functioning as a contract even though it's an MOU, right? In my mind here, unless we need an additional contract which we might want to, that was going to be an alternative conversation point, that we might need to follow up the MOU with a contractual agreement that states exactly what the court agrees to do and for how much, up to that $5,000 limit that the Squire was asking about, and what the expectations are from both parties for that. So,
I mean, I personally think there's a whole lot of information in here, and if our county attorney's okay with it, I mean, I'd rather just keep this. Max, what are your thoughts there? I mean, this is
I
pretty
think
detailed.
technically, this is
Yeah,
I mean, it is a contract.
This is the
This
contract,
is what,
basically.
we're gonna give 50,000 and 5K in in-kind services, and this is what Josephine's gonna do, so, I mean, it is a
Pretty much
contract,
spells
and
it
it's
out.
got out provisions in there.
Yeah, there's
So-
out clause in there, so that would kind of take care of either of us. If you all weren't happy, then it's only a year contract, or, or if you had to get out before then, vice versa. So I think that's kind of in there. Go ahead, Squire Sebastian.
Just a question to follow up on that. Thank you, Judge. Will this agreement come back to the court each year before June? Because there's a clause in here during the second section
Yeah.
that says this initial contract gives us up to 5 years to renew it
Yeah.
or make a determination whether it wants to be renewed.
I would like to bring
My-
this back to the court
Thank you,
because it's a new thing.
I
It's
would-
the first year.
I would
There's
advocate
gonna be a
for
lot
that.
of communication, and I think to respect everybody, we need to kind of talk about how it went.
And that would,
Yeah.
I think, help the court understand the frame around how this will work.
And that's what we
going
had
forward.
pretty much talked about,
So,
yes.
I guess I'm saying that to kind of clarify,
Yep.
because it's one of the things we talked about in finance.
Yep, thank you.
So I'm
Yep.
only
No,
bringing it up
I
for that
appreciate
reason.
that, yes.
Thank
And I
you.
think it'll better define some of the questions we had here tonight
Yeah,
and make it better for everybody.
yep.
And the Parks Committee probably had the same questions we did.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Squire Wisman.
Judge, I want to ask, because Melanie, this is a big ask, and I'm fully supportive, because I think we can do a lot of community good. But at the same time, we've had other conversations tonight about the need where tax dollars go. I'm wondering if you can give just me and the community that might be watching some basis, sort of, you're envisioning. Now I'm sure that a lot of this has already went through Park Committee, and there's been conversations that I've not been privy to. But sort of, if you could just run a gamut for us about sort of what the give and take will be and how this will help excel the operations that you already have there and benefit the county as a whole, if you can.
Sure.
Just a little bit more.
I mean, Josephine Sculpture Park started as a very grassroots organization. In 2008, I moved back home to Frankfort to start the park, and we opened in 2009. We had no funding to do that, and we established essentially a world-class art venue in Franklin County with investments from individuals in the community and a variety of grants that come from government grants and private funding, with some very little earned income as well. Through that 16-year investment, we are still at a point where I am raising all of the money to operate the park every single year. None of it's guaranteed, not one penny.
And let me ask you just right there, because this is kind of what I was trying to get to. that Some federal funds and some other things you all have relied on in the past are, let's say, less sure
Reliable.
now
Yeah.
than maybe in the past. So again, this is where local government's having to pick up the slack somewhat for what's going on nationally at the moment.
Well, and I'll say, we've been working on this concept and partnership long before we knew federal funds weren't coming. And the idea was that it would provide an opportunity for Franklin County to be able to expand its parks services, essentially, a 40-acre park that's primarily wildlands and not athletic fields. So it's a nice complement to what Franklin County has already, but also our extensive educational programming, that is arts programming, nature programming, and mental health services. It's very well documented that spending time in nature and doing art activities, seeing art, provides benefit to people's mental health. And as a park that has operated for free to our community and served, I can say, all families in our community, because there is no admission fee, that is a significant impact on the community in a way that supports people's, mental health and physical health, as well as just improving quality of life amenities by having, a world-class arts and cultural center here in Franklin County. So I think, for us, it provides some stability, some income that we know is coming every year. And it also shows an investment on Franklin County's behalf of, an investment in the Arts Master Plan. We were a tremendous part of creating that plan and positioning arts and culture institutions as, economic drivers for tourism across the state and beyond. Many of our visitors are from Franklin County, but many are from outside, and they come from all over the state. And so, though the money spent, the economic impact is also pretty significant, coming from an organization that has not charged a dollar to anybody in the community for 16 years. So, I think it's a tremendous value to the community, not only from an art standpoint, but just from a park that provides opportunities for people free opportunities for families to experience the arts and have all kinds of, educational opportunities, volunteer opportunities, where there's no charge to do that. And so I think that supports the community in a really meaningful way, when people don't have to pay to come there, and experience it.
I'll add, if I can, I think, this agreement would put you all on a sounder foundation to ensure the future, as we're all getting
100%.
older. You all have undertaken an effort to hire a development director, right?
Which he started a month ago, and he's fabulous, and I can't wait for you to meet him.
Finally expand options to put
Yes.
a solid endowment and a perpetual plan in place for you all to
Yes.
exist indefinitely. So this is really hoping to foster that, and maybe this isn't needed forever, maybe it is.
Yeah.
But it helps create that future, and I
Definitely.
thank you too. I asked you like a year ago to put some hard numbers together for us, and you put them in here. 30,000 annual visitors is a pretty solid estimate of what you all are seeing in
And that's
current
just in the
visitorship.
park.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's not count our programs that are outside of the park,
Right.
like Arts Downtown.
Which you have an estimate of 100,000. I mean,
Yes.
the numbers are pretty significant, and I would say too, as a representative of mostly the west side of our county, we have no park space as a county government on the west side, so this would include a space that we can dedicate without having to purchase, operate, fund. We get to count this into some
Yeah.
of our activities and our future grant writing activities and our
Yes.
basis for tourism, so we can monopolize on that too. So I just wanted to, I've already heard some pushback. Why are you all funding? I want to say the value to the community is
Thank you.
multifold, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Squire. Squire Blackburn.
I was just wondering if our, Madam Grant Director could maybe give us a little bit of information on how this could benefit us from her perspective.
No pressure.
Mainly, I would just say that when you add in the additional acreage to our overall program and the number of visitors and the variety of, like she mentioned, it's not just sports fields, now we also have natural land. That gives us a richer application if we were to apply for any kind of funding. It shows that we have diversity in the type of visitors that we have, the type of educational programs, the type of fitness programs, and all of that helps us make a more attractive candidate for funding. You know, when a funder is looking at us and they see, look at all of the things they're doing, all of the good works they're doing, then that makes it easier, I believe, for them to trust us with their funds to enhance and increase what we're already doing well.
So good stewards are given more.
I believe so. Yes.
I agree.
I can speak to that.
Yeah.
We're one of them.
Thank you, Belinda. Yeah. Okay, Melanie, I think we're good. Thank you very much.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Alrighty, next, I believe, agenda item is the Peaks Mill Water District Independent Audit Report. I do not believe anybody is here to present that, but I think everything looked good. Squire Sebastian?
Thank you, Judge. Do we know the status of if this water district is going to collaborate with another water district? Have we heard any kind of reports on that?
Have not.
Because there wasn't anything that discussed that in this annual report.
Yeah, I know they,
And
oh, go ahead, Squire, here, do you know?
We had a meeting, actually, beginning of last week, and it was open for the community to come, put their input in. Right now, they're not looking at collaboration. They're actually $67 ahead this year farther than they were last year.
Yeah.
Yep, the report
So,
said that.
with the Public Service Commission's rate hike and the $3 surcharge, they've turned around. I'm not saying they're completely fixed by any means, but it's heading in the right direction.
Okay.
Kentucky American Water is still a tossed out idea, and so is the plant board. But at this time right now, it's not something they were looking forward to.
And I do know they have been talking a little bit with Farmdale, just as far as, because they have a lot more equipment and staff. I know Plant Board has a contract with them now to update their meters. So I think Peaks Mill District is starting to kind of look at some of those things. And so there is been some talking, but I appreciate Squire.
But they do have GPS mapping now, where that was a thing in the past. They didn't have it before. They really came out of the woods this last year and upgraded a ton.
Yeah.
So.
Squire Tanner?
I might be out of order if I am, correct me, but I talked with the people at the water department down in Farmdale today just to see how things are going, and they said they were still having problems with the contractor, but they did say they promised it'd be through by the end of November.
Okay.
And I don't know whether they'll ever make that or not. I know that Sherry don't think they will, and I know she's had a lot more trouble than I have, but I do know with all the progress they've made out there, they got their water loss down to 16%, which is amazing.
That is amazing.
It's amazing, and they're dealing with a contractor now, and we talked about how bad things are about SNAP and food pantries, and everybody that people are hurting, and they need, those people that are putting those water lines in are not gonna get paid because that money comes from the USDA, and they're not turning loose any funds. If you're, I may be out of order,
Yeah,
so.
yeah. No, I appreciate the update. It's, I know they kind of made a mistake with that contractor, and they're trying to just get that project finished. So, we've all lived through a lot of issues with that, so. Okay, next one is, County Road Supervisor. And I know Mr. Cody talked earlier about this, and this has been heavy on everybody's mind. So I am bringing to you all, most of you know him, Mr. Mike Dees. He was the road superintendent for the state of Kentucky for Garage 5 for many years. Most of us have dealt with him. I've been talking to him for a while, and he is looking to come and hopefully lead the team. So, anybody have any questions on him? Squire Blackburn.
This might be a little tricky, but, Cody, how do you feel like staff will accept this individual?
Once again, we gotta get back up here. So I think that, I think Mike's a really good guy. I think he will do a good job. So I think staff will accept him well, you know, just to get us back on track. That's my take on it, and that's what I believe, and I think
This isn't
anybody's gonna
something
do
that
it,
will
we
hurt
got-
morale, or,
no, it's not gonna hurt morale. I don't think so.
because nobody wants to go to work unhappy.
That's exactly right.
When you're happy, you work better, you get more done, and you
100%.
look forward to going to work.
100% agree with you.
That's where we need to be.
Yeah. So he's got my support, you know, and unless I see something different, then we'll take it up with him,
yeah.
you know?
Thank you. Thank you, Cody.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Squire Sebastian.
And I think maybe just to echo something that Mr. Callis was saying, you know, Mike was the road supervisor for Franklin County for the state. And worked with the staff at Franklin County, the Franklin County Road Department, very well, to the point of where services would be exchanged between the two when some staff was in a specific area and the other staff couldn't get out, especially during a disaster time or a storm. Very much hand in hand. Loaned us cones, road cones, and other things that you don't really think of until you absolutely have to have them. And we may not have had them, and he was a jewel to work with. So and the thing is,
Listen, you like the spotlight now.
I'm
I
gonna-
mean, you're gonna start
like
coming to
spotlight.
every meeting. You're gonna be getting up talking.
But I will say this, I think that, one of my biggest things is, I think he'll do such a good job is because he's used to government work.
Yeah.
So we don't have to try to figure out how to form somebody else from government that's not government to government work. You know, I think that's gonna be the main thing that's gonna help him more than anything.
Yeah, and Cody and I have had conversations, and, you know, he's gonna need a good second, and, you know, there's a lot of room for movement down there, and, you know, I put a lot of thought into this hire, you know, because it's a big deal for me to, you know, to throw somebody out to the court, and I know the couple of years that he was still here working, anytime I called him with a state issue, he was Johnny on the spot. And so, you know, when we got the other resignation, I reached out to some people that I respect very well and shared his name that might be interested. And so that's when he and I started talking and meeting. And it was a long process, you know. He thought about it long and hard. So he's excited, though. He's ready to lead the team. He wants to be part of Franklin County's team. And so I think it's going to be very good for everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you, Cody. Seriously, I appreciate it. Squire Tanner.
I just want to make sure that Jason, he gets, Justin, excuse me, I like to call you Jason, and it's never right.
I've been called worse.
Since we
I
got
was like, who's
since we got the right name now.
Oh, really?
Oh, is
I've done it too. I'm not going to say anything. I've done it too.
that? Anyway, maybe you can get him online quick, because you know where the office is, I guarantee you. And you've been here for several days representing, giving reports, et cetera, and you can bring him up to date.
Yeah. So I'd say Monday will be his start day. Squire Wisman.
Judge, a couple questions if I can. We're being asked to appoint a position. This was not put out for hire to the public, and I didn't see a job description anywhere, and my comments are going to be right now completely subjective to Mr. Dees and that appointment. So just wanted you to discuss that process and how we're...
It's one of my appointments. County road supervisor is the county judge executive's appointment, so I bring somebody to the court, and you all vote it up or down.
I'm just going to put a plug in, because I've said this for the last 2 times, that I think this department and this position is really a lot larger than just a road department at this point. And I really think it's time that we start thinking about modernizing and talk about more as a public works directorship position, because in my mind, it's with the new facility especially, it's a growing title, a growing responsibility, and there's so much more than what this job was when it was created, probably back in the 50s, when that first road department was built. We had some discussions about needing some GIS capabilities and all kinds of mapping
We're
systems.
talking
which-
internally with our planning and zoning, and
Yeah.
hire somebody potentially with our PVA and our county clerk through planning and zoning, but that wouldn't be under that department.
So just putting a plug, I think we need to start considering that, and I know we have some regulations by state law that, about what kind of positions are created and aren't, so I just think we should. And, but otherwise, I was just gonna say that I'm gonna recuse myself because I work with an organization that employs Mr. Dees, so, from the final vote. So.
Yeah, okay.
It's not that.
Alrighty, seeing none, we're gonna keep moving. Speaking of planning and zoning, I believe Autumn is here with us. Good evening, Autumn, how are you doing?
Good evening, doing well.
Good, thank you for being here with us.
Yeah. So tonight I'm here to ask for approval of a service agreement with iWorks for software as a service, including training, implementation, and a 3-year term of service to establish an online planning and zoning module. This is something we've been talking about for a while since I joined the team. And this will allow us to have an online portal where folks can file their applications online, and then it will allow us to circulate plans and applications to our technical review partners for their review and hopefully their sign-off. So hopefully kind of streamlining the process a little bit, helping things to run a little bit smoother so that we're not running all over the county getting things signed, and just kind of keeping things a little bit more on a solid track. Happy to answer any questions.
Autumn,
Been needed for, I'm sorry.
I
Been
appreciate
needed
you
for
bringing
years.
this to us because, yeah, this is something we've been talking about, like you said, probably even before you were with the team here. So I'm happy to see this. You know, it's unbelievable when you talk to the team and, Ben spends a day or two a week driving around getting signatures, and I think it's ludicrous. So I do know there's the only kicker has been the water districts because they might not have the capability, but iWorks said they would come and train each of them. And so everybody should be doing, the state does now, all electronic signing. So I think this is gonna time efficiency like there's no tomorrow. So thank you for you spending a lot of time digging in, interviewing companies, getting quotes. This is exciting. Squire Hare, did you have something? I didn't mean to cut you off.
I said it's been needed for years.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to.
No,
interrupt you, but,
yeah.
I usually blurt out when I get something on my mind.
Squire Witzman.
At least you didn't call her
Just
name.
wondered about, I believe this is an expansion of an existing contract we have, right? It wasn't
Correct.
a bid system at all, but, and it's $6,500. Is it anticipated to be a one-time entry level or, and, because we had a fairly significantly discounted price, or was that just the price of the modules that we're purchasing that we can expect that to be standard?
Sure, so this year will be $6,500. That includes the setup, and then for the subsequent years, it will be $6,000 to maintain going forward. And that will be for 10 applications through the software for us. So we think that that will be, sufficient to cover what we do on a daily basis, and then, of course, we have the potential to grow that over time if necessary.
And applications, those are effectively forms, right? The 10
Right.
forms that we can digitize online for
Yes.
signatories. Okay.
And I want to let the court know, on a side note, Autumn and her
Read
team
that
are really
closer.
trying to bring their planning and zoning up to where it needs to be, less red tape. And her and I went the week before last to Scott County, sat down with their county judge and their planning director and kind of talked about their process and how it works. And we're planning on going back there with another visit and then probably to Shelbyville too. So we are currently trying to really improve our planning and zoning department. So I appreciate Autumn and her team for working on that. Squire Sebastian.
Thank you, Judge. And it appears that from the documents we had, we were able to negotiate a reduced price. So it's coming in at a reduced price. So thank you all again for the work that you did to do that.
Squire Tanner.
Man, I asked too many questions tonight, I apologize. But I need to understand this, you said up to 10 applications. So
Yes.
if you're number 11, have you got to wait a year?
So when I say 10 applications, I mean 10 application types. So like a zone change application, a board of zoning adjustments application, offense permit,
The actual application.
the actual application
Yeah,
form.
application itself.
So 10 forms, 10 different types of applications that we review.
Oh,
So
that's
they'll
it.
each have
Now-
their own workflow set
all
up
right.
in the
Now you
software.
cleared that up for me. Thank you.
So they'll go through different, yeah.
It sounded
yeah.
like it's the first 10 people. If you're number 11, you got to win.
I read it a couple times.
Yeah.
You're not alone in thinking that.
Yep. All righty.
All right.
Autumn, thank you very
Thank you.
much. All right, this next one, I'm gonna ask Belinda to come up, and I believe Belinda and Kelly Squire Dykes have talked to the court about this. So, I'm not sure if Belinda wants to talk about it, or you want to talk about it?
Well, I'm basically going to handle this over to Kelly, but what it is it is a request from Fresh Start Frankfurt to increase their opioid funds. We were awarded them $15,000, and they are requesting $45,000. Squire Dykes brought that to your all's attention, I think maybe 2 meetings ago, and then we talked about it again. The potential of bringing them up to the same amount we awarded most of the other agencies, which would be $25,000.
I'll just remind the court that that Fresh Start Frankfurt does really great work, and it is the only nonprofit women's housing facility that we have. So it houses folks that are in, that have been in active addiction and typically have been to treatment, and now this is a safe, sober place for them to live. So I think it's super, super important that we do this, and I apologize because I think it was my fault that it wasn't done before, not on purpose, of course, but with the change in directors, it was a little difficult to keep up with, so I hope you guys will go along with this.
Squire Wisman.
Judge, I just wanted to make sure we state for the public that may be watching, the next 6 items that we're talking about are a pretty significant amount of funding, but those are not local tax dollars whatsoever. Those are opioid funds that are settlements from the drug companies pushing this stuff into our community. We're now putting those dollars to work through. I'm happy that we're putting them through the organizations that already exist. They're fighting the problems that we have in the community. So, we're looking at something like nearly $100,000 that we're getting ready to approve and award, but those are not tax dollars. I just want to make that point over and over and over.
That's correct. And if I could, I'm just gonna, we were talking earlier about the cuts that are being made and that we know are going to be made. And yeah, I think it's really, really important. What we're doing here is super important work, because the women who live there pay rent to live there. They have to work, they have to volunteer, they do all of those things. But the place cannot, keep itself going with no funding at all. And I really do fear that we're going to see a cut in the funding that they're used to having. And so I think this is really important.
Squire Sebastian.
Thank you, Judge. I just want to make sure there wasn't an abstract in the front of this, and I want to make sure I understand the request. Is this request to add 30 more thousand to bring them up to 45? Or is it to give 45 on top of the 15 that brings them to 60?
No, it's not.
I'm just trying to make sure.
It's not, no, I understand your confusion. It's not 45 at all.
Okay, I'm just reading.
It's just 10 additional to what we gave them to begin with, that's all.
And we gave him 15.
We gave them 15.
So that'd be
it'll
25 though.
Yeah, but here it says
I
we're
know.
seeking.
I'm literally going through all my notes right now
Okay.
going, yeah, I'm right there with
Those
you.
are my notes.
That's what they're seeking, 45. That's not what we're doing.
Oh.
A lot of them.
You beat me to it, because I'm sitting there going through all my notes like, this
Yep.
wasn't what you had talked before.
That's not what I talked about. No,
Okay.
but that
Can you
is
state
what-
it one
that-
more time?
Okay, so they requested.
everybody.
Yeah, I know it's really confusing.
I'm only
and
just, I'm
I
leading
was-
the horse
And-
right
and now
down the
you-
path.
And now you see why I got it confused and messed it up to begin with. So the ask is 45,000. We initially gave them 15, and I'm requesting that we give them 10 more.
To bring them to the
To bring
25
them
that we
to
gave every
25
Okay.
total.
That's the,
Okay?
Thank you.
Does that
which
make
is
more
why I
sense?
was confused, because then we were
I'm
gonna.
literally looking through all my notes going, where did that number come from? I'm glad I wasn't the only
With-
one.
But without the abstract on the front, to
Yeah.
make sure we all had the same level of understanding. That's the only reason I
Yeah,
asked.
absolutely, no, I totally
Okay,
get
thank
it.
you, yeah.
Believe me, it's been confusing throughout, so I'm
Okay.
happy to explain, thank you.
Okay. All right, everybody good on this one?
Yes.
Okay, Belinda, let's keep moving. And just to reiterate, these are all things that we agreed to as a court during our budget session.
Correct.
We're just doing the formality part of it
Right.
now.
We brought back all of the contract format,
Okay.
you all approved that. I guess that was court before last. What we did was we sent those out once you all approved it to the agencies, and then they returned all of the attestations and the agreements to me. They completed the contracts and signed them, so now they're here for your all's approval.
And I will let the court know that I appreciate, I believe, what was her name with KCO?
Lauren Carr.
So she came and met with, Belinda had a big meeting with everybody, and Lauren came, and they went over, because these are opioid funds, what needs to be done paperwork-wise to make sure everybody qualified, so all that's been vetted, but I appreciate you all doing that. Make fun of me?
He is making fun of you,
I
I'm
know,
watching him.
I could feel
It's pretty
it, I
funny.
could feel it, yeah.
Now, and I will also say that as these were returned to me, I sent them all back to Lauren so that she could review the agreements and the little project descriptions that followed to make sure that she was on board and felt like these would meet all of the reporting requirements and that we were within the parameters of proper use for opioid funds. So as we work through this year, Lauren is really helping us put together best practices that we're going to have in place as we move forward each year, and you guys decide how you want to spend the opioid money.
Okay, so just not taking anything away from you, let me just run down these, Belinda. So we have the
Yeah.
Boys and Girls Club, we have the Yes Card, we have the Health Department, we have the Wanda Joyce, and we have Thorn Hill. I'm gonna
Correct.
stop right there. All those we have discussed in the budget meeting. Does anybody have nothing's changed from the budget? So,
Correct.
Amelia, I know you're here for the yes. Do you have anything you want to say because you are here?
Only that, I'm just here because,
Oh,
just in
yeah.
case you all need.
Yeah,
So
perfect.
The only thing would be clarification that the Franklin County Health Department and Yes Card, that's one.
Yeah.
plus,
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
because
And
they have to
that's why
handle the
she's here in
funds
case
for the
there were
yes
any
program.
questions about the health department
Yeah.
accepting on the behalf of the.
But out of all those, does any members of the court have any concerns, questions, comments, just to, so we can keep moving?
Just a question, I guess about that.
That's right, Wisman.
Is the health department going to take any fee or management or anything, or is it just going to be passed through entirely? So that was a question before, whether they could. Okay, thank you.
Good question. Belinda, thank you. Oh, no. You, sorry, I thought you took a turn to the door. No, I looked down for a minute. I was like, she's taking off. Okay, the next one, it's the federal COPS, School Violence Prevention Program.
That's tab 15, everybody.
Yep.
So in June of this year, you guys approved us making an application for a COP School Violence Prevention Program grant in partnership with Franklin County Schools and the Sheriff's Department to improve school safety across all of its buildings through an enhanced access system. And Fiscal Court was recently selected, and this is the award agreement for $233,584 in federal SVPP funds. And the required local match is $77,861, which will be provided by Franklin County Schools for a total project budget of $311,445. I included in your packet a letter from the superintendent confirming that they will pay the match, and we sent that in with the application. And just to be really thorough, I reached out to him again this week after we received the award, confirmed with him that they are still happy to pay that match, so there will be no cost to Fiscal Court.
I want to say congratulations.
That's great.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
It's a huge thing, yeah, nice job. Yep. Absolutely. Any questions, concerns, comments from the court on this agenda item? Squire Wisman.
I'm just wondering, it's a federal grant, if we have a timeline that will be awarded, or if they already have the funds in hand, if you know anything, Belinda, that we can expect those soon, or?
I expect this will move quickly because now it's going to be a reimbursement.
Yeah.
But I expect it will move quickly because I have to accept the award by November 10th, which was, why it's here tonight. And all we're doing is purchasing equipment and then having it installed. So it's not like it's going to be something we're going to do month after month after month. So I feel optimistic that we will be able to move forward with this, quickly.
Hope so. Good. Thank you.
All righty, let's go to the next one then.
Okay, Erin McCauley, our consultant, is not able to be with us this evening due to illness, but she was kind enough to send me some information to share with you all. This is an agreement between Kentucky Emergency Management and Franklin County Fiscal Court related to FEMA Disaster 4864, which was the April flood. This contract is part of the FEMA Public Assistance Grant Program, which provides reimbursement to state and local governments for disaster-related response and recovery cost. We are incurred eligible costs as a result of the disaster, including debris removal, emergency protective measures, road damages, and damage to the Franklin County Courthouse. FEMA provides funding for these costs through Kentucky Emergency Management, which serves as a recipient of the grant, and Franklin County is the subrecipient, meaning we receive federal funds through KYEM for our eligible project expenses. This agreement outlines the terms and conditions between KYEM and Franklin County for the administration of FEMA public assistance funding, ensures compliance with federal and state grant requirements, including documentation, procurement, and audit standards. It'll establish our responsibilities for record keeping, cost verification, and completion of approved projects. Why can't I say project? And I keep saying products. It's necessary to access those funds and ensure the county is reimbursed. It's a standard contract, part of their general process. And approval will ensure we remain in compliance with FEMA and state requirements and can move forward with reimbursement for current and future expenses related to the April flood. Funding will be distributed based on a cost share formula of 75% federal, 12% state, and 13% local.
Squire Westman.
Belinda, I was reading through, and I know we don't probably have a snapshot of how much expenses we've incurred or maybe still will incur just yet, but I see there's $300 million for Kentucky allocation. Do you know if they're going to take all applications in and consider how much everyone has outlaid to, or is it a first come, first serve?
Unfortunately, I don't know that. That would be a great question for Erin, and I can, certainly relay those questions to her.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'm just only up here because she's sick, so I will find out for
If
you,
you
though.
wouldn't mind, I'm
I
just
don't mind
wondering
at
if
all.
there's a chance that we may not get made whole if there's only $300 million, which seems like a vast amount, but really isn't probably for the amount of damage that happened all across the state for that flood. So
A lot of what we've been doing with ER Assist has been first come, first serve. That's
Yeah, that's
like
what I
the
was-
buyouts and everything. That's why we're firing fast, trying to get those things going, so. All right, any other questions for Belinda on this item? All righty, Belinda, thank you very much.
Sure.
Next, I believe, here he comes. I'm excited about this one. I'm excited about all of them, don't get me wrong, but this is something we've been working on for a while.
Good evening, Court.
Hello,
How are
hello.
you all? So this next item, and actually both of these items are somewhat related, but I just want to kind of give you some background to these. So since we have decided on the healthcare plan, we've changed carriers and things like that, we are trying, and I'd like to thank Amy and Vicki and Miss Francis for working on this so hard, but we have been put in a position where we need to now get all of this information entered into Paycor, downloaded, uploaded, all of the loadeds that you can think of, documents, forms, employee information, all of these things for open enrollment, so that we can be in a better position, or so that we can be in any position to start open enrollment for the employees. We're definitely behind the 8 ball right now. So what this is a scope of work with Paycor. Both of these items are scopes of work with Paycor. The first one is the expedited open enrollment. What this is Paycor is going to assist us in building an online platform so that our employees can enroll in their healthcare plans on Paycor, which they're already up and running. So that would be a wonderful thing. The expedited part of it is that with this scope of work, they will They will complete this platform and have it ready to go in 3 weeks. That's huge, because again, we are behind the 8 ball. We need to get the open enrollment going as fast as possible. The sister scope of work here for the enrollment for the Wizard eligible clients, this is a guide for a user guide on Paycor as they're in the enrollment platform to help guide them through the process, explain to them what they're looking at, what the plans are. So basically, that is our ask. These are, we have already an agreement with Paycor, obviously, that's our payroll system. And so these are just supplement types of agreements, these scopes of work. They're a one-time deal. And so I just asked the court for authorization.
Amy, would you like to add anything on this agenda item? Does this have your blessing?
It's been a lot of additional work for the staff, because you know we've got a lot of people kind of filling in some gaps for us, and so this has been very difficult all the way through the healthcare planning system since the summer. So we're kind of getting to the end, but we're also in a time crunch, and so we need all the help that we can get from Paycor.
Squire Dykes.
I just want to make sure that I understand, we still don't have like a full-time working HR director, correct?
Correct.
So this is all needed badly?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Squire Tanner.
You may have said it, but it looks like obviously a pretty good thing to me, and it's pretty easy to everybody look at it and say, this is gonna really be an assistant. It's just, we're gonna continue with that when our HR director comes back. Are we still gonna use this?
Yes, sir. The idea is to, of course, in our goal to be paperless as much as possible, the idea is to be able to offer online enrollment for all of our employees going forward.
Good.
Squire Westman.
Just a couple technical things if we could judge. The 2 contracts are $1,500, but it has an additional $200 per hour if we need reworking. Is the $1,500?
Yeah, it's like if we don't implement it correctly or all the way 100%, if we don't implement it and then we come back to them later and we need help, then they're going to charge an additional $200 an hour.
Okay.
Hopefully, we're not planning on needing that part, but hopefully.
They estimated everything built out was within the scope.
Correct.
Okay.
Seemed to me like that's a very reasonable fee.
It is.
And then Jack, the effective date's the 27th. If we change that to today, is
So,
it still going to be okay?
Actually, yes. Actually, they've had to work with us a couple different times. They needed this paperwork yesterday, or actually today. They needed it today on the 29th, and I had to ask them to give us another day just so that we could run it through court. And then I'm going to have these papers signed tonight, and I'm actually going to send them to them tonight. So they extended it to the 30th for us.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Court.
Jack, thank you very much, and like you said, everybody else working on that. All righty, next, I believe Amy is with us. Good evening, Amy, how are you?
Good evening, I'm fine. I'd like to ask the court for authorization for a budget transfer. The maintenance director has requested $9,300 that's available within one of our contingency lines to cover the cost of new flooring. I did put new carpet, it is not carpet. New flooring in the second floor of the county clerk office and the elevator reinspection for that same building.
Okay, Greg, you want to say anything about this?
Well, if anyone has questions, I will.
Well, you're here, so we got to have a question for you now. Squire Sebastian, go ahead and ask him a
Thank you,
question,
Judge.
please.
Well, no, I actually am just going to throw some kudos out.
Yeah.
Because again, this is the SAP and SOAR staff
Yes,
that's working with our maintenance staff to save us some money to
Amen.
be able to put this down.
It was nice.
we
I
are
was in
trying to
there
be-
helping them doing some of the technical stuff, but showing them, but they put 90% of that floor down. It was awesome. It helps out tremendously, not just in that situation, but throughout the county and helping with some of the projects I have going on. Because right now I'm currently short-staffed and it's a big help. So I'm very thankful and grateful.
Thank you, Squire. Any other questions, concerns, comments on this budget transfer?
Thank you.
He's taking off. I wasn't even done saying. He turned and burned. Look at him. He was running.
What do you got to say?
All right, Amy, what do you got next?
The next item is the revenue and the expense report as of October 24th. And if you have any questions about that, I'd be happy to answer. I didn't have much tonight.
Yeah, I know.
It was all Belinda.
Yeah, I know. Linda stole the show tonight. Amy, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Alrighty, next payment of claims. Does anybody have any questions, concerns, comments for Kim on any claims to be paid? All right, we good? Authorization to go into closed session per KRS 61.8101F, discussions or hearings which might lead to the appointment, discipline, or dismissal of an individual employee.
So moved.
Second.
Did you get that, Kim?
I'm trying to find it on my sheet.
21.
Second.
Art.
I don't have.
All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say nay. We are in open session. Thank you, court. Next, we have authorization to hire light equipment operator / driver. Any questions, concerns, comments on that? Seeing none, I'm just going to loop all these others in. Authorization to hire 3 new firefighters. I believe the court has everything they need to know about these 3 gentlemen. Any concerns, questions, comments? Seeing none. Authorization to approve a promotion to rank of captain. Anything? Alrighty. Other business. Anybody have any other business tonight before we go into the voting session? I don't know what that was, but
Felt like we had something.
we did.
To add that,
Yeah.
the appointment.
Can,
That's why I remember.
can we add
Can we say
that?
that in the voting session?
Yes, we have to do that in voting session. Can we do that after item 5, where we have the
Contract.
discussion about Josephine's Sculpture Park and just amend it there?
Motion there.
Okay, so I'm
I
gonna
was
ask,
ready to make that in the tabled motion.
perfect, so we'll,
I made notes over here.
all right,
Come on.
you got it? No, no. Okay, Squire Wisman, other business.
Judge, just a quick thing. I thought since we had the year anniversary of SAP, I wanted to give some accolades to Detective Ron Wyatt, right, who brought us the idea of that program initially and set it all
SAP
up.
sewer
I know
program?
it's changed, changing some lives and made a difference in the community here, so I just wanted to give some credit where it's due, that we wouldn't have that program probably at all without his recommendation, so.
Perfect, thank you. Any other business? Other business. Alrighty, let's go into voting session. This is October 29th, 2025, and this is our voting session. Clerk, please call roll.
Squire Sebastian.
Here.
Squire Blackburn.
Present.
Squire Dykus. Here. Squire Harrod.
Here.
Squire Tanner.
Here.
Squire Wisman.
Present.
Judge Mueller.
Present. Thank you, clerk. Authorization to approve the minutes from the public hearing of October 15th, 2025.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization for approval of minutes from the regular meeting of October 15th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes.
Judge, I'd like to offer a motion to table item 4, the authorization for the MOU between the Sheriff's Office and the County Board of Education for the SRO services.
And are you asking to table that until our next meeting?
I would like to table it until the next meeting of Fiscal Court.
Thank you very much. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye to motion to table this.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Item is tabled until our next meeting of next week. Authorization to approve a memorandum of understanding between the Franklin County Fiscal Court and the Josephine Sculpture Park.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Looking forward to that partnership.
Judge, I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda
Okay.
and add another voting item. And that voting item would be for the Fiscal Court to make an appointment to the Josephine Sculpture Park Board. That would be an ex officio member, and they would need to report back to the Fiscal Court.
Okay, and do you have a recommendation for that? Can we do it in all swoop, or do I have to do it twice?
I can amend that motion while I'm still talking and make a recommendation that Squire J.W. Blackburn, a member of the Park Committee, be the member of the court that fills that position.
Perfect. Clerk, are you getting all that?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Do I have a second for that motion?
Second.
You get that, clerk?
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Squire Blackburn, thank you for serving on that committee.
Judge, you need to take a vote on that now. That was just an amendment to the agenda.
Oh, I thought we
Yeah.
could do it in all swoop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have to amend the agenda and then,
I know, I was trying to do it one shebang,
Sorry.
that's what we did.
What's your bag?
I make a motion to approve. Are we gonna vote on that now?
To approve the
Yeah.
amendment.
Yeah.
To
so we
approve the
voted
amendment?
on,
I second it.
All right. Did you get that, clerk?
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
yes,
All those
yeah, aye.
opposed say nay.
Everything.
Motion passes, okay. Alrighty. Authorization to receive the Peaksville Water District Independent Audit Report for years ending December 31, 2024 and 2023.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to appoint Mike Dees as our county road supervisor.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion
Judge,
passes. We
I need
welcome
to
him.
abstain, please.
Oh, okay. Did you get that, clerk?
Yes.
Squire Wisman to abstain?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We welcome him to our team. Authorization to approve a service agreement with iWork for software as a service to establish an online planning and zoning module.
So moved.
Second.
Did you get that, clerk?
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to approve the funding request in the amount of $25,000 to Fresh Start Frankfurt.
So moved.
Wait a minute.
It's 10,000.
May I ask-
The
Yeah.
10 was only
45.
budgeted. We haven't done the paperwork.
We
That's
haven't
why
done-
all these are in front of us.
Okay, but I'm just asking to make sure we don't have to amend the paperwork to make it the amount of 25. Just for clarity, I don't know.
I don't,
I'm asking.
we haven't voted on it, so I don't
Yeah,
think
this is
so.
the first time it's in
Yeah,
front
it's
of
the first
us.
time it's come in front of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
Was
we're
it in the
okay.
budget?
All right.
Belinda, come
Trying to
on,
make
help me.
sure I'm
I went out and asked during the break because I
That's
wanted to make
good,
sure.
because I want
Yes.
to make sure I'm doing
Just
the
to
right thing.
clarify, what will happen is, once you all approve this, then the next fiscal court meeting, if I can have it in time, but it may be the one after since we've got such short turnaround time, there will be an agreement brought to you guys for $25,000
Total.
for a
Yeah.
Fresh Start total. And that will be the only money that is authorized for
Yep.
them, the
Perfect.
25 total.
Thank you, Belinda.
Thank you.
Okay, did I ask for a vote?
Yes, you
You had a
did.
first and
Did
a
you
second.
get it?
Yes,
Are we done?
yes.
No, you had a
We
first
did
and
a
a
first,
second.
we did a
Did
second.
first,
I
second.
did
All
Diane
those
Gibson
in-
Blackburn.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Thank you, court, for keeping me in line. Authorization to approve a memorandum of understanding between the Franklin County Fiscal Court and the Boys and Girls Club of Frankfurt authorizing $12,500 in opioid abatement funds.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to approve a memorandum of understanding between the Franklin County Fiscal Court and Hands Healing Arts, DBA Yes Arts, authorizing $25,000 in opioid abatement funds.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to approve a memorandum of understanding between the Franklin County Fiscal Court and the Franklin County Health Department authorizing $25,000 in opioid abatement funds.
So moved.
Okay, make sure. I thought it was.
It's
the same.
right.
I'll second it. She's, yeah.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to approve a memorandum of understanding between the Franklin County Fiscal Court and Wanda Joyce Robinson Foundation authorizing $12,000 in opioid abatement funds.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to approve a memorandum of understanding between the Franklin County Fiscal Court and Thornhill Education Center authorizing $32,500 in opioid abatement funds.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to accept a federal COPS School Violence Prevention Program, SVPP, grant award in the amount of $233,584.
So moved.
Second.
Did you get that, clerk?
Yes.
Y'all like that free money. Everybody jumped on that one. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to approve a resolution authorizing the receipt of funds from FEMA through recipient KYEM event number 4864DR/KY for cleanup and recovery efforts by the Franklin County Road Department, Sheriff's Office, and professional services and contractors.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to award an agreement with Paycor of statement of work for guided open enrollment for Wizard eligible clients.
So moved. So I'll second.
Did you get that, clerk?
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to approve an agreement with Paycor of statement of work for expedient open enrollment.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to approve budget transfers for fiscal year 2025-2026.
So moved.
Second.
Did you get it, clerk?
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those
Aye.
opposed say nay. Y'all laying down on me. We're almost done. Authorization to receive the treasurer's report.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Payment of claims. Is there a motion to deny any claim? No motion was made. Let the record reflect claims are to be paid. Authorization to hire David McDonald as a light equipment operator / driver.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to hire Aaron Valentine as a firefighter.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to hire Luke Hassan as a firefighter.
So
Hassan.
moved.
Is that right? I missed that.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to hire Brendan Lee as a firefighter.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. I want to welcome all the new firefighters and light equipment operator to our team also. So we look forward to working with them. Authorization to approve a promotion of Micaiah Smither to the rank of captain.
So moved.
Second. Micah.
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 Yeah, I knew somebody was going to call me on that. And I saw Chief laughing at me. But I was trying to just glass over it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
I'm going to abstain, Judge.
You're abstaining on that one? Okay. Did you get that, clerk?
Yes.
Squire Wisman abstained from that one.
Yes.
Authorization to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Thank you, court. Great meeting.